Hi, hello, and howdy. Welcome to Prep City League Tournament in Paldea. Technically, I guess it's PCT Season 2, but it's the first draft league in Gen 9 for us. You know what I mean. But basically, I wasn't going to upload this, but I have been enjoying it, and I didn't have time to do any actual draft slides or any of that, real PokeTuber stuff. So we're just going to go over the team on Showdown, and we're going to fucking hope for the best. I was third pick overall out of, I think there was 14 of us, if I'm not mistaken. And then, was pick 3. Start us right off. I took Iron Valiant. I don't know what to take. Jay got first pick, which, by the way, rigged? You're telling me the guy who organized this gets first pick? Rigged? Epstein something. I don't know, man. But he took Fluttermane. Jorge was second. He took Roaring Moon. And those were, honestly, I was like, if I could have either of those, that'd be real cool. But obviously I'm third, so like it would make sense that I couldn't get the two most borked things. I didn't know what to take. There's a few options, There's like Chi-Yu, which would have been pretty cool. There was this. There is the Don fans. There's a few things floating around. But I decided to go with Iron Valiant. That's our boy 74. This Pokemon's cool because it's got the Quark Drive, obviously, like all the future Pokemon do. So you can throw the booster energy on there. If you have electric terrain, you get a little boost. And it'll actually boost up whichever stat you want it to. Like, so if you're, this is neutral nature for all of them. But if you're timid, then you can get the speed boost, which is a 50%. It's a, one stage boost. However, if we were to go like adamant or whatever, even though we're 0 IVs for some reason, then you'll get the 30% boost to basically, essentially a life orb boost for the attack stat. So that's cool. It can also be a special attacker. If you want to run good old fashioned modest, then that'll be the strongest stat, and you can get a 30% boost to that. It's looking pretty cool, man. We also decided to do Open Terra for one Pokemon, and I chose this one. He's got a good amount of good amount of like coverage moves, just from being Gallade already. Just from gets all of Gallade's moves essentially, with a smidge of Gardevoir still in there. With that usable special attack stat. It's got some pretty good moves in there. So that'll be cool. Nice little mixed attacker. Keep our opponents not 100% sure what our best. It's kind of nice that our best Pokemon can be ran either way. So if you want to bring a defensive wall specifically for this Pokemon, you kind of got to pick what it's going to be. It's a coin flip. And if one makes more sense than the other, I'm dumb as shit. So there's not even a guarantee that that's the one I would bring. So that's Iron Valiant. Next, it went all the way down. I was third pick, went all the way down to 14, came all the way back, and literally every other cool thing was gone. I didn't know what I wanted. I just took Hydreigon. I don't know why. I just felt it and was like, fuck it, Hydreigon. This is also a similar situation as old 74 there, but Malfoy here, definitely most notably a special attacker, but last gen they gave it Dragon Dance, which is pretty cool. So if I did want to run a physical set, we can D-Dance up. I can even run a Dragon Dance set and then still be special. You know what I mean? Get a speed boost, throw off your opponents. And I don't know if you guys remember Gen 6, but Hydreigon's like almost exclusively ran like a mixed set with Life Orb, with like Draco, Dark Pulse, Fire Move, and like Superpower. So if I wanted to do something like that, if just for throwback's sake, we still could, so that's pretty cool. But I do love Hydreigon. It's a very cool looking Pokemon, and the new version of Hydreigon isn't near as cool. So at least as far as cool shit, we did get him. Now, looking at my first two Pokemon, you're going, Shaden, what the fuck are you doing? You don't have a Fairy Switch in. So I went ahead and decided that next I wanted exactly that. We took Jimothy, the Earthworm. This is a brand new Pokemon with the Earth Eater ability, which means it's immune to ground moves, which is pretty neat. So its only weaknesses are going to be fighting and fire. Unfortunately, Malfoy is also weak to fighting, so we gotta do some stuff for that. But it's a cool Pokemon. It is one of two Read'em 2 Pokemon that gets Shed Tail. See, it's so Shed Tail's so rare. It's in usually useless. It's a great move. It is. I know in some leagues it's banned. Here, it is unbanned. We can use it. Jay has Shayquaza. First of all, by the way, rigged again. First pick and Shayquaza? Okay, dude. Yeah, this is fair. But we can Shed Tail. Use half our HP to give something a substitute, which is pretty neat. And you guys know me. If you guys have been about this channel for a little while, you know I'm a momentum kind of guy. You know, so I will I will gladly sacrifice half of my health to get that pivot out. And it's not the greatest in terms of coverage or spadef or you know, really even just being a fucking being a fairy resist, because it doesn't have really good spadef. But it is pretty good on the defensive side, so it can run like body press, can run like, I don't know, Iron Head and stuff like that. Pretty neat. Shiny new toy syndrome, I'm taking it, dude. Fuck it. Next, I was like, okay, the fighting types are looking a little bit out of hand. I do have a Pokemon that capitalizes on fighting types, being Iron Valiant. Like, you can bring all the fucking fighting types you want. I'm gonna Moonblast them away. I'm going to Spirit Break them until they no longer exist. But just to have a defensive check to said Pokemon, I went ahead and took Slowbro. Actually, I took Slowking and didn't realize that JB had left a pick with me for Slowking. Woke up hungover, took Slowbro, was gonna go back to bed, and then realized JB was took Slowking, then realized JB literally pinged me and said, and left pics and was like, hey, take me Slowking. And I was like, yikes, I'm an asshole. Let me just, then I told him to take Bro, and we traded after the draft. So, Slowbro does not get teleport. It doesn't. I know you know how to do it, dude. You just did it for a whole generation. I know you know. But he forgot, man. I guess that's why the bro is so slow. Is he fucking forgets how to go places, which is unfortunate. But it's still a Slowbro. It's basically just Gen 7 Slowbro all over again. Just the same old stuff, man. Very, very good coverage because it is a water and psychic type. Still gets Slack Off, even though there's only 8 PP on Slack Off anymore. And by the way, I ain't gonna click it anyways. That's a waste of a move slot. To have Slack Off? Nuh-uh. Not worth it. I'll run Belly Drum before I'll click Belly Drum before I'll click fucking Slack Off, dude. But it's a Slowbro. This isn't a new Pokemon. I'm not going to spend too much time on it going in, kind of like with Malfoy. Talk about it a little bit and how it pertains to the team, but there's no real sense in going into and reading the moves. You guys know I ain't going to be reading moves. I'll read Iron Valiant's moves. I'll read a few Gemethy moves, but that's just because they're new. You know, that's Paul. Next, we have Electros, and you should know by now, this is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. My best friend in the world, Cowpat, basically used to wreck my shit with this fucking eel all the time. And I got tired of it, so I started drafting it, and I realized you can just slap an Assault Vest on this, eat any hit, and just get the slow pivot out to whatever you need. It does get really good coverage, and actually it's close combat now, which is pretty neat. But it gets all kinds of shit, man. So it's standard eel stuff. It's an electric type with Levitate as its ability. So find a weakness, you know. Good luck hitting me super effectively, Holmes. But it's Electros, man. And if you look, I got Electros and Earthworm. So I got the Phallus Core, dude. I got the old Phallus Core. Also, Phallus Core is my favorite style of music. You've heard of Crab Core, you've heard of Swan Core. Get ready for Phallus Core, dude. It's coming. That's not even an intentional pun. That's just a badly worded sentence stuff. Anyways, Eel, you know what it does. I've used it a bunch of times, mostly in Showdown Leagues because it hasn't been in Sword and Shield. But I do love me some Eel. Great Pokemon, and I love Pat, and it makes me think of him. So, yeah. Next, Nicki Minaj. Serena's in this bitch. I needed some rapid spin action. I don't have any... Does Hydreigon even get Defog anymore? It does not appear as though Hydreigon gets Defog anymore. Okay, cool. I knew that ahead of time. I was just checking for you guys. But I want a rapid spinner. Serena's been pretty cool. You know what I mean. It's pretty strong, all things considered. After a rapid spin, its speed stat isn't too bad. It is... 120 attack and 98 defense is pretty cool. I do like that. And like we talked about with the momentum, we still got U-turn. So that's really all you. That's really rapid spin U-turn is really all you need as on this Pokemon. You know, people are going to be switching out, fearing the high jump kick, fearing the knockoff that it doesn't have anymore, fearing the power whip or whatever. But I'm just gonna click U-turn. So just stay in, pussy. Stay in. You won't. Next we got Lot Lizard the Salazzle. I made it this far in the draft, realized my speed tiers sucked, realized I didn't have a fire type, and realized this is the Toxic Spikes meta. So many Pokemon get T-Spikes, I was like, I'm going to make sure all my drafts this gen have a grounded poison. Every time I think of grounded poison, it's that stupid meme I put on Twitter. That's the poison type getting told that they're grounded. I'm not going to, But Salazzle's pretty cool. A lot of stuff lost Toxic over the last gen, and then even more stuff lost Toxic this gen. So it is cool to have 100% accurate Corrosion Toxic. So even if it's a Steel type or a Poison type, you're still getting poisoned, dude. Oh, you thought because you were made of the future, you could not be poisoned? Nah, dog. I don't care how stainless you are. You taking some chip damage, alright? It is also pretty funny, though, to hit a Steel type with Toxic, because I'm also a fairly strong Fire type. So like you could just kill it with Fire move, but it's like, let's go ahead, let's give him 6 turns just in case, But that's pretty much a Lot Lizard, man. You know what it does. It's Salazzle. Next we have BDE, the Masquerain, Bug Dick Energy. I wanted webs. I do like webs. My team, like I was saying, I realized my team wasn't the fastest, so I wanted to have webs as an option. Masquerain also, 100 special attack isn't horrible. 80 speed, again, not horrible. Intimidate, could be worse. So its coverage is pretty nice too, and then it also gets stuff like Baton Pass, and Haze, and U-turn. I'm only reading those moves because I've never actually looked at its move pool before. I just always remember it as having Ice Beam randomly because it used to be a water type. So, pretty cool Pokemon. Just taking it, Just I wanted it. There's only, I think, 3 or 4 web setters this gen, and a few of them started going, and I was like, let me just go ahead and yoink mine real quick. So we got Masquerain. Next, I also realized that I wanted something to help deter the hazards going away. So also Hydreigon is a stealth rocker now, so that's cool. So Hydreigon is a stealth rocker. Jimothy has rocks and spikes. Lot Lizard has access to T-spikes. We got webs. I do got a bit of a hazard stack thing going on, so I wanted to get a spin blocker, but they didn't have any good ones. So I was like, what's the next best thing? A Defiant user. King Gambit got taken. Fuck you, Seth. So I went ahead and took Bisharp, and Bisharp now has an evolution, so you can run Eviolite Bisharp. That's pretty good. You know what I mean? It's not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world. 100 defense is really nice. HP leaves a little bit to be desired. Spadef leaves slightly less to be desired, but still some. But with the Eviolite, you're living hits all of a sudden that you didn't even think were possible. I don't want to give any spoilers for Week 1, which has already been played. However, this Pokemon comes, and this Pokemon may or may not live a fighting type move. Never before seen by Bisharp, dude. Never before seen. It lives a ×4 effective, relatively strong fighting type move. Bonksville, USA. So, we got Edgelord on the squad. And I also hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I did also drop Bisharp, and I picked up what I originally wanted, which was a ghost type. But so we still have to use it for Week 1, but for Week 2 and on, we will have a Mimikyu. I named it Bisharp with a question mark because I traded it. I updated it on the dock. Someone changed it back to Bisharp. And then I had to go back and change it again to Mimikyu. It was fucking ridiculous. And my Week 2 match has already been played as well, and there was a bit of a mix-up with it there too. So we got some stuff to look forward to, But we got Mimikyu on the team now, which is cool because a lot of these new Pokemon set up and just win fucking games. A lot of these new Pokemon click one button, set up, and will absolutely win the games, especially with Open Terra. They can be whatever they want. If you guys are familiar with BBR, the other league I'm in, you use points and you pick 2 up to 2 Terra Captains, and then they're predetermined into one type they can terrestrialize into. This, who the fuck? It's anyone's game. You can do whatever you want with your one designated Terra Captain. So my feature Gallade can do whatever the heck he wants. So he can be whatever type, and it's pretty neat. So it's nice to have the guaranteed disguise to be able to eat a hit, potentially get some big damage off on something, and have that turn to see what they're going to turn into before I'm able to make my next move. It's nice to have that. You got a little more time. I'm not going to get set up and swept unless they turn into something that beats Mimikyu, which is very possible, and now that I say it out loud, it's definitely going to happen, and I hope none of my fucking opponents are watching this, man. Don't. I'm watching you. Watch me, dude. But that's Mimikyu, pretty cool Pokemon. Last but not least, we got Diggy Smalls, the Doug Trio. I made it this far in the draft with no ground type. I watched as my friends and co-creators ridiculed a young man for not having a ground type. I didn't join in, but I saw it go down, dude. I saw someone get just absolute. It was Trexo, and I'm over exaggerating, but a couple of people were like, "How do you make it without a fucking ground type? You silly pants, you fucking goose." And I was like, "Wow, that is a really bad thing to do, you fucking idiot." And then I was like, "Oh no, I don't have a ground type. I don't want to be next on the old slopping block, So I took Doug Trio, and it's still not really a ground type. You know what I mean? It's a Doug Trio. It's not. You can't just throw it in on an electric move, because if they predict, you're just it's dead. You just don't have a Pokemon anymore. A Doug Trio is already 3 Digletts, but it's not like the stats improve threefold. You're 3 dead Pokemon instead of 1. But offensively, which is how we play anyways, Arena Chap's pretty nice. Worst case, Ontario, they have to run Shed Shell on their Steel and Poison and Fire types, which the latter, the Poison types, are something that we don't really want to deal with Gallade, with future Gallade. So at least forcing that to be Shed Shell, i.e. not like a Choice Scarf or something that would outpace my Iron Valiant, is pretty nice. But just being able to trap stuff, being able to Memento, Stealth Rock, all that bullshit, you know what it is. That didn't count as reading moves, by the way. I know what you're thinking. I don't? Okay. But it's Doug Trio, man. You know what it does. It's been around. It's been around since day one, so it's a pretty cool Pokemon, and it is fast as hell. It's actually now our fastest Pokemon, so it's funny that the last thing we just slapped on here fills out our speed tiers better than anything else does. But that's going to be the team. I just wanted to go over it just real quick, for you guys. Let me know what you think. If there's trades I should make, if there's glaring weaknesses. Shout out Phallus Core. But alright, that'll do it for me. I'll see you guys in the battle, which I am behind on, and I'm going to upload tomorrow, and then I'll be on schedule uploading on Fridays. So I'll see you then. Bye forever.